Hey everybody, Rosematter here. Welcome to part 2 of my Higurashi When They Cry Meakashi Let's Play. So, we were reintroduced to Shion in the first episode as she escaped from her private school, and she is now in Okonomiya. She is meeting up with Mion as she's kind of like taking on Mion's persona in order to avoid being detected by her family, because as we know, Shion is kind of the outcast of her family. And we kind of got a little bit of an insight into their relationship before it seemed to go to shit in the previous chapter. So I'm curious to see, you know, how the relationship ended up deteriorating and what's going to happen with the two of them. So yeah, without further ado, let's get back into this chapter. I said goodbye to Mion before it turned to evening. We had talked about the things that happened during my time away, and I enjoyed having that chat between sisters very much. We were able to dissolve our unsettled emotions. We didn't used to do that. Maybe it's because we hadn't seen each other for over a year. It was late afternoon. My heart felt lighter now. I stretched and looked up at the sky. The sky was clear, blue, and far away. No matter how tall I grow, I'll never be able to touch that sky. I'm Shion Sonozaki, a girl who escaped from the life she was forced to live. Nobody will praise me for what I did, and for what I'm going to do. But this is what I chose.
なんだ、私だって大人な考え方できるじゃない。
I psyched myself up. I should go shopping for dinner. Though I have Kasai's help, I need to save money. I love junk food, but it would be cheaper to cook. Ironically, the culinary classes from that evil school will come in handy. Why not go to the shopping district in Kami-Ishiki? If I'm going there, then I need to take the other street. The cool breeze in the late afternoon felt nice on my skin. Kasai came to the door while I was putting stuff I bought into the fridge.
あ、待って待って。今鍵開けます。
お買い物の帰りですか？お疲れ様です。
買い物程度で疲れてちゃたまんないよ。あ、葛西も食べてく？一人者にはスーパーの野菜の単位は大きすぎだしね。
よろしいんですか？ご厄介になってもいいものでしたら、ぜひ。
Kasai looked curious about what I'd cook.
チェ、その顔は全然信じてないな。見てろ。
これらは冷蔵庫でいいんですか？入れておきますよ。
あ、悪いね。二人分だとお米はこのくらいかな。よっこらしょっと。
Kasai skillfully packed food in the fridge while glancing at each item in turn. He noticed something.
シオンさん、相変わらず缶詰はダメなんですか？
I hadn't bought any. That was of course on purpose.
缶詰を避けての買い物はいろいろ大変でしょう。
理屈じゃ分かってんだけどね。無理強いされりゃ食べないこともないけど。それでも私はやっぱりパスだな。
悪かったと思ってます。少しふざけすぎたと思ってますよ。だからそろそろあんなくだらない話忘れてくださってもいいのに。
ああ、もううっさいな。男が厨房にチャラチャラ出入りしない。テレビでも見てておとなしくしててよ。
Kasai chuckled and left. I know this sounds stupid, but I hate canned food. If somebody told me there was canned food in a meal I just ate, I'd throw up. It started with a silly thing. Kasai told me a horror story when I was little. Oh, this is the thing about the food, right? Like during the war in Japan where they were canning people? You know, one of those urban legends about meat made from an unknown source. Like those rumors about how there's worm meat mixed into burger patties or dog meat in beef bowls. Kasai had fun telling me one of those stories because of how scared I got. He had fun, but I obviously didn't. I even started to cry in the canned food section of a supermarket. That's how much I hated it. I don't freak out like that anymore, but I still don't like canned food. Why do I have a feeling that if Mio knows this, she's gonna maybe she's gonna pin Shion down at some point and force feed her canned food? Since I don't like it, I don't force myself, and I now live my life naturally avoiding canned food, because there's a lot of all this talk about the canned food. This has to come back in some way. One of the big differences between us twins is that Mion doesn't have this issue. Kasai feels responsible for this, but he can't rid me of that fear. Still, a flaw like this is actually a good thing. Otherwise, I'd be too perfect.
カサイ、机の上の新聞どけて。
I keep forgetting to add the kasai. Kasai.
いい匂いですね。ごちそうになります。
量が足りないと思ったら、あとは勝手に牛丼屋さんにでも行くこと。あ、テレビは切らないで。私は静かな食卓ってやつが苦手だから。
では、いただきます。
で、カサイ何の用だったの？何か用事があってきたんでしょ？
I handed him a cup of tea. I could wait until dinner was over, but I wanted to get to the point quick.
食事が終わってからの方がいいかと思ってましたが、食べながらにしますか？
カサイが来た時点でずーっと何の用か気になってるから、先に言ってくれた方がご飯の通りが良くていいかもです。
自宅に学園から電話が今日ありました。
今日そりゃ遅いね。よっぽど表沙汰にしたくなかったと見えるな。で、どうなったの？
電話は茜さんが取りました。親父さんには後で折を見て話すそうです。
Akane-san is my mom. That's what Kasai calls her, as he's known her since before her marriage.
で、母さんなんか言ってた？
I was lucky she answered the phone, since she's relatively on my side.
仕方のないやつだと漏らしておりました。こういう結果も決して予想外ではなかったような顔つきでしたね。
親父にはまだ知らせてないんだ。
茜さんなりにタイミングを測っているんでしょう。多分2、3日中には話すものと思います。
親父はばあさん寄りだからな。耳に入れば自動的にあいつにも伝えるだろうな。で、伝わったら見つけ次第即刻ここへ連れてこい。申し開きの意見によっては指の1本や2本ってことになるだろうね。
My god, she just seems so blasé about it.
おっかない子って。
Just kind of like mocking it a bit.
笑い事で済めばいいんですがね。シオンさんの指だけじゃ済まないかもしれないってとこだけよくお願いしますよ。あちちちち。
がっつくからだよ。あ、ちなみに味噌汁もご飯も作りすぎてるからおかわりは強制ね。3杯は絶対食べること。
A few days later, Mion told me that the hag had heard about my escape.
で、ばあさんはどんな感じだった？
バッチャはカンカンでさ、もしも沖宮界隈に帰ってきてるなら即刻見つけ次第自分の前に引っ立てろってさ。
怖っ。で、実際に親父とかの動向は？
近々の親族会議でシオンをかくまってないか問いただすみたいだね。でも若いのに街中を探させるとかそういう真似はしないみたいだよ。
Holding a family council means that things will remain in the hag's hands alone. She won't search the town for me. It's like she's unofficially approving my presence. Of course, I'll get caught immediately if they find me in a large public place. Well, I mean, we know based on the events of the previous chapters, Shion, like a year after this, she's still around and kicking. She even ends up in Hinamizawa, so, I mean, I guess everything blew over.
母さんが随分暗躍してくれたみたいだね。
I can tell she's being supportive. It's a long story, but my mom is sort of an outlaw, even though she's of the Sonozaki bloodline. A long time ago, she had a huge fight with the hag because she hated the family rules and traditions. She was even excommunicated. My mom was supposed to be the successor, but she was deprived of the title, and Sis took her place instead. Yeah, I knew about that. Like, I knew about the whole thing about, like, the mom basically being kind of shunned, and Mion took over, so it's kind of nice, I guess, to get a little bit more backstory into that. While she's quiet now, Mom's still an outlaw. She's always been on my side because I also hate rules and traditions.
親父、最初はすっごくカンカンだったらしいよ。母さんがだいぶなだめたらしい。何のかんの言っても、親父は最後には母さんには勝てないからね。
オッケー、ありがとう。また何かあったら教えてね。本当にヤバくなったら、私もこの町を離れるつもりだから。葛西とか吉郎おじさんとか、それに母さんとか。おねえ、あんたが今何を考えてるか、どうして同じ血を分けた姉妹なのに、シオンだけこんな隠れるように生活しなきゃならないのか、でしょ？
Mion was silent. That meant yes.
シオンだけこんな窮屈な思いをするのはフェアじゃないよ。絶対。
ありがとう。気持ちだけでも嬉しいです。
表に出たい時とかあったら相談して。シオンがいつでもミオンになれるよう協力するからさ。
She sounded apologetic. I shouldn't go quiet or agree with her. She sticks to things a little too much. Once she goes down, she'll stay there for a while. So I just told her simply,
ありがとう。実はそれが一番ありがたいです。じゃあ切りますね。
じゃあね。またね。
man, their relationship is so different in this chapter. I was like, man, what happened in the span of a year to change things so much? All right, so now we have another excerpt from the diary, and you guys told me about, I was kind of having some theories about who I thought was writing in this diary, and apparently it will be made clear soon enough. The most likely culprit seems to be Shion herself, based on the way that Satoshi was addressed in it, because Satoshi and Shion apparently were close, and that's another thing. I'm guessing they're probably going to get into this. I wonder if we're even going to see Satoshi, because this was... What year was this? I'm trying to think. Has Satoshi disappeared yet? I think he has, so maybe we won't see him after all. Once again, it's a little confusing sometimes about... Oh, Satoko! Satoko! Duh! Speaking of Satoshi! Duh! There it is right here! Satoko was crying while hiding behind my back. I definitely want to learn more about Satoshi as well. She's been crying while clinging on to me, so my back was wet with her tears and snot. My aunt had been screaming hysterically, but she looked tired now. I suddenly realized it was already past 1 in the morning. She vomited out a series of screams one last time and finally called it quits. Oh, sad Satoko again. Satoko seemed exhausted. She was looking down in a state of shock. Even after my aunt walked away, she didn't realize she had been freed. So I stroked her head and told her,
終わったよ。Satoko.
oh, we finally get to actually hear from Satoshi. Satoko twitched. Her eyes grew bright again, and tears rolled down her cheeks. She looked up at my face. She knew it was over, but wanted to hear it directly from me. She begged me with a look. To be honest, I was really exhausted too, so I felt a bit annoyed when she tried to make me say it. But I needed to pacify her, so I gently told her what she wanted to hear.
もう、おばさんの小言は終わったよ。だから、ね。ねよ。
Satoko clung to me while her tears continued to fall. She was crying again silently. Satoko was shivering pitifully. Her small back reminded me that there was nobody else to protect her.
さあ、歯を磨いて、それから布団を敷こう。
Wait, okay. I'm trying to remember. So, I believe this would be the year, right? This is the year I believe that the aunt is going to die and Satoshi's going to disappear, because Shion, I imagine that if her uncle had told her about, Satoshi disappearing, she probably would have freaked out.
そしてぐっすり休もう。
Okay, so there we go. I think I've got a handle on things now. So, this is the year. That's right. It's the last year before Keiichi showed up. Satoko smiled faintly and nodded. I felt dizzy. As I was released from the strain, a harsh drowsiness fell upon me. While Satoko was washing her face, I went to the toilet. I zoned out while watching my pee. In my dizziness, I almost missed the shot. I felt like I was being sucked into the toilet. I couldn't even remember what caused it. Why did my aunt start screaming today? Oh man, that's not enough. Oh, that's so interesting that we're gonna get into that though. Definitely excited. I love seeing the this background information on Mion and Shion's relationship. We're gonna find out more about Satoshi. I'm jazzed to finally start getting some more answers. It's a very quiet afternoon as always. Since I can't go outside as myself, I have to match schedules with Mion when I go shopping. I've gotten used to it by now, so it's no longer a hassle. Because of this, I naturally have to buy things in bulk. Today I shuttle between shops and my home.
あれは買った、これも買った。ああ、そうだ。今日って100円セールの日じゃなかったっけ？忘れてた。
Being in a good mood, I spun around with my arms spread out. I felt like a little whirlwind. My arm hit a motorcycle parked on the sidewalk. It obviously wasn't where it was supposed to be.
もう、何こんなとこに止めてるの？誰？
I gave it a kick with no hesitation. There were 3 motorcycles lined up there in a row. They all fell like dominoes. It was a beautiful sight. This is fun, I thought. Being in such a good mood made me leave my guard down. I didn't realize the owners of the motorcycles were right nearby. They looked pretty scared. Wait, isn't this exactly what happened to Keiichi? Didn't he knock down some, bikes or motorcycles? They grabbed me by the neck and dragged me into a dark alley. Then they called me all kinds of names. Everything was happening too quickly for me to grasp what was going on. Whoa. They can't really talk properly. I didn't have a clue what they were saying. I had to translate their alien tongue into normal human words in order to understand. We are very upset because you knocked down our motorcycles. You should immediately pay for the repair and compensation. Yeah, that was probably it. That's our offer. What do you say? We'd be happy to listen to your opinion. Something like that?
ああ、ごめんなさい。さすがにそろそろ翻訳不能かも。
I know what they're trying to say, but somebody has to warn them about the way they park their motorcycles. Man, she is fearless. It wouldn't be fair to those who obey the rules if there were no punishment for those who disobey them. This is an accident, but it must also be God's will. But God, you can use me to punish these guys, but how will you compensate me later? She's just taking this as an annoyance more than anything. I heaved a huge sigh. Then again, maybe she's like, oh, you picked on the wrong person because my dad's gonna get all you guys killed later, so... Of course, I wasn't afraid in this situation at all, because it wasn't a dangerous one for me. These 3 guys were yelling at the top of their lungs at a girl. They didn't look good doing it, and they had too many disadvantages. First, there were the differences in gender and in the number of people. Even if I did something wrong, as men shouting at a woman, it didn't make them look like they were in the right. Added to that, there were 3 of them. It already looked like it was going to get violent. Second, the location. Taking a girl into a dark, narrow alleyway is already a bad idea. And top of that, they're asking for money, not just an apology. Thanks to these facts, the public will be on my side. So this was a fight they couldn't possibly win. The only way for them to win would be to take my money before somebody finds out. Considering that, taking me to this narrow, secluded alleyway might have been a smart move, since fewer people will find out about the situation. She's just calculating this all in her head. I was just like... God, I would be shitting myself in this situation. I knew how slim their chances of winning were. From the very beginning, they had picked the wrong girl. I'm Mion Sonozaki now. It'd be foolish to mug her in Okonomiya. Soon enough, the people of Hinamizawa would notice me and gather round. This is like what happened with Keiichi. They don't spare mercy for their enemies, no matter what. The punks didn't know this area well. I wonder if it's the same... If these were the same guys who picked on Keiichi a year later. If they did, they'd have known how silly it was to rob Mion. Plus, the alleyway isn't always as empty as they assumed. This side street is a shortcut which local people frequently use on their way home. In the late afternoon, many people will be passing through here. That time had almost arrived. If I held off a little longer, the street would soon be filled with people. Then the punks would have to go away. I didn't have to do anything. I just had to wait in order to win. This was a simple fight like that. I feel like she would be good in the club. She's very calculating like Mion is. While they could hurl abusive language at me or lift me up by the collar, they weren't actually going to resort to violence. Cheers to the educational system for ingraining the ladies first mindset. But as a wicked person, I wanted to toy with them a bit, even though I could win this by waiting. That sounds like Shion. I wanted to paint them as even more villainous and drive them into a corner that would be even harder to talk their way out of. That demonic desire was rearing its horns. Maybe Shion should have been the demon after all. To put it plainly, I'd only need to act as the poor, helpless victim a little further. Like the pathetic, pitiful, tragic heroine everyone wants to sympathize with. In a case like this, I shouldn't start crying immediately because I'd get nervous and draw back. If it were truly a threatening situation, that would work, but I needed something different here. I'd pretend to be strong at first. In fact, I thought, why don't I challenge them? And eventually I'd start trembling, my voice would fade, and I'd get tears in my eyes. It'd be even better if I played the role of a strong girl who's slowly giving into fear. Mion and I are probably the only ones who are capable of pulling that kind of stuff off. Well, I'm probably better than her.
そんなにしつこく言わなくてもいいでしょ。悪かったって言ってるじゃないですか。
I talk back with a little hesitation. Am I getting tears yet? Yes. By the way, I've heard men can't shed tears on command. I feel sorry for them. The three punks faltered a bit due to my sudden change in attitude, but they soon started yelling at me again. I had to keep it going. That way they blatantly look like they're picking on a helpless girl.
もう許してください。
なんだよこら。さっきまでの伊勢はどこ行ったんだよ、にゃろ。
そんなのだって。
そんな今頃泣くくれなら調子くれてんじゃねえんだよ、たくよ。
It looked like they were laying off a bit. Did I overdo it a little? It'd be boring if they let me go now. At that moment... Satoshi! We get to see Satoshi! Oh my god, he really is like... He looks so much like Satoko.
もう泣いているじゃないか。やめてやれ。
A boy around my age appeared. He was skinny. Oh, is this his... Oh, so she does... Oh... This is her first time meeting him. Aww. He looked weak. He looked younger than he probably was. Oh my gosh. That's so sweet. I guess he's just a protective type between Satoko and Shion. You know, he steps in even though he could get the crap kicked out of him. He also looks smart. He bravely glared at the punks.
なんだなこの野郎。
足んねえことしてった邪魔するな。
The punks turned away from me to face the boy instead. The boy looked a bit agitated when the punks started yelling at him. I guess in his way, he's used to it too. He's used to getting yelled at. They sure were ruthless. But the boy must have known that from the beginning. He must have known he was going into a dangerous situation. Yet he didn't hesitate.
黙ってたらわからんがな。
See, this is the difference, I guess, between Shion and Satoshi. Was Shion, she uses like her family name, and you know, her being a girl, where she's like, oh, I've got the, like, you know, I've got the upper hand. Whereas him, he's more like life experience. He's used to getting picked on and yelled at, but he's still brave.
返事せんか返事。
He must have wanted to shout back at them, but he probably never used that kind of language in his life, so he couldn't have expressed his feelings out loud. He might not even have known what to say, so he just kept on glaring at them, to let them know he wasn't going anywhere. The three punks, though, might have thought he was just lost for words in his fear. But I knew different. The boy was overpowering them with nothing but his will. The punks were losing, so they resorted to violence. Oh, Satoshi. They grabbed him and knocked him down. They hit, kicked, and tossed him around. It looked painful, but I knew. It was his victory. In the end, local passersby stopped the punks. They made no further fuss and just went away. The boy stood up. He was covered in dust. He smiled when our eyes met, and asked me if I was all right. He didn't look particularly okay himself, though.
あんたもよくもまあ勝てない喧嘩を買う人ですね。次からは勝てる算段がついてから喧嘩を買うことを深くお勧めしますけどね。
最初は迷ったよ。
He laughed, saying he was watching from the beginning. That meant he had the option to walk away, but instead he worked up the courage and stepped in.
そういうのは勇気って言わず、身の程知らずとも言うかな。
I guess Shion just can't understand that. Like she said, you know, she's a little bit more selfish, where she's probably the type that if something like that happened, she would maybe be the type to walk away. So she's like upset with him for actually stepping in.
ミオンは口が減らないね。
Oh, so he knows Mion. I guess that makes sense considering Shion hasn't been around for a while.
助けてくれてありがとうくらい言ってくれよ。泣いてたじゃないか。
別に泣いてなんかいません。あれはちょっとした演技で。
いいよ、演技でも。
ちょっと信じてないでしょ。私が本当に泣き出すと思いますか？
思わないよ。天下御免の園崎ミオンが不良にいじめられて泣き出したなんて誰も思わないよ。
何を笑ってるんですか？全然信じてないでしょ。私が半泣きなんてするわけない。
信じるから信じるから。
I realized one thing. He must be one of Sis's friends. He didn't seem to realize I'm her twin. He thought I was Mion with a different hairstyle. Mion and I had to live separately since before we went to elementary school. Mion was in Hinamizawa, and I was in Okonomiya. I lived in a totally different environment from her. So it's not strange that people don't know me. Actually, only very few people know I exist. I almost told him I'm not Mion, but I managed to stop myself. Shion shouldn't be here. He's from Hinamizawa. It wouldn't be good if he thought he saw a Mion look-alike in Okonomiya. So I had to act like Mion. Dealing with him could be more difficult than handling those punks.
でもまあ、ミオンにも少しは女の子らしいところがあったんで安心したよ。
なんだか妙に引っかかる言い方ですけど、つまりはどういう意味？
ミオンのことだから、なんだか珍妙な憲法でも使って瞬く間に撃退してしまうんじゃないかって期待してたね。だから泣き出した時は正直驚いた。
だからあれは泣き真似だったって言ってるじゃないですか。さっきから人の話ちゃんと聞いて。
He gently put his hand on top of my head and stroked it as if stroking a kitten. I could remember someone doing that to me when I was little, but it had been quite a while since somebody stroked my head. I didn't know what to do. Why did it make me so embarrassed? My face reddened all at once. I couldn't say anything.
バカにしてます？ひょっとして。
I stuttered in embarrassment. He looked calm as if he was used to doing this. It's like Keiichi, like he does the same thing to, to Rena, and then, Rika does that to people too. It's the head stroking seems to be a common thing.
なんでもいいよ。よかったじゃないか。
よかったって何がです？
無事で。
He smiled while he kept stroking my head. His smile looked divine. I wonder if they had a thing going on before he disappeared. He wasn't going to stay for long. He'd already saved me from those guys after all.
じゃあ、僕は行かなきゃならないから。そろそろ行くね。
I wanted to go through all the steps of meeting someone for the first time, but he didn't. As far as he was concerned, he just saved a friend from danger and wanted to leave quickly to avoid seeming pretentious. He and Mion must be friends who knew each other well. So I couldn't bring myself to ask, "What's your name?" Mion's friend smiled once again. His smile looked as refreshing as a clear blue sky. This time, he smiled a bit mischievously.
安心しなよ。ミオンが泣いてたなんて誰にも言わないから。 もっとも言ったところで誰も信じないだろうけどね。天下無双の委員長が泣いてたなんて絶対誰も信じない。
He patted the dust off his butt once again. He walked back to the sunny main road, away from the dark alley. Then he turned around.
じゃあまた明日学校でね。
うん、学校で。
He disappeared into the brightly lit street. I continued to sit in the gloomy alleyway. I could no longer see him. I was just staring absent-mindedly at the bright light. That was the first time I met Satoshi-kun. Oh, that was sweet. Okay, I'm not even allowed to walk freely under the sun. I met a boy on a sunny day. How come a perverse girl like me fell in love with his innocence? Yep. Oh, that's tragic.
そりゃあサトシだよ、サトシ。その特徴的な雰囲気と気安く頭を撫でる癖は間違いないね。
サトシくんって言うんだ。
The boy from earlier is called Satoshi Hojo-kun. Mion said he's always daydreaming. So she didn't believe he'd saved me at first.
普段はしっかり者の妹にいろいろと尻を叩かれてるな。
妹がいるんだ。
うん、妹はサトコって言ってね。なかなか面白いやつだよ。なかなか悪知恵が働くしね。そのくせ追い詰められると泣くし。見てて退屈しない子だね。まあ最近はいろいろとあってね。ちょっと調子を落としてるけど。
His sister came up naturally in the conversation. I tried to soak up every scrap of information about Satoshi-kun. Why? Why am I trying to ask so much about him? And that's so sad that she can't even, like, I'm sure eventually she will reveal herself to him as Shion, but, like, the fact she wants to be friends with him or maybe more, but, like, she has to be Mion, she just can't be herself. As I asked myself that, the feeling I got when he stroked my head came back to me. I must have been blushing.
もしもし、シオン？
ごめん、聞いてる。
そもそもね、サトコがおばと折り合いが悪いらしいんだよね。サトシは大人だからその辺はうまく立ち回ってるんだけどさ、サトコは嫌なことがあると素直に表情に出しちゃうからね。
What Sis told me was very interesting. She told me that the parents of Satoshi-kun and his little sister are dead. Satoshi-kun and Satoko are now living with their uncle and aunt. They don't seem like very respectable people. They're always fighting and the uncle is cheating on the aunt. He mostly lives with his mistress. Satoshi-kun and Satoko entered into that unwelcome environment. What surprises me the most is the fact that Satoshi-kun's parents were the Hojo couple who were the leaders of the pro-dam activists. That fact must have added something to the situation. I don't know what kind of stance the uncle and aunt took during the dam conflict, but they must have taken some indirect blows. Satoshi-kun's parents died after bothering them so much, and even left them their children. The uncle and aunt obviously can't love those kids. Things have gotten worse this past year too. Women can be really nasty bullies. Sometimes it doesn't matter who they're bullying, even if it's a kid. On top of that, women tend to care less about property than men. Or propriety, than men. As a result, Satoko seems exhausted with it all. I can imagine Satoshi-kun bravely protecting his little sister. Just like when he saved me.
なら、サトシくんも普段は疲れてるってことになるのかな。
え？
サトコがおばにいじめられるたびに、きっとサトシくんは妹をかばってると思う。妹が疲れるのと同じくらい、サトシくんも疲れてると思うのは、
どうだろうね。
Had I said something wrong? Mion sounded a bit taken aback. So that meant Mion can't tell how he's feeling. Because he's always wearing that blank look, so she never considered it. How can she be that insensitive even though she's around him all the time? I was amazed to realize that.
まあそんな話はいいや。で、彼は普段はどんなことをしてるの？文系みたいだから読書とか好きなわけ？
想像に漏れずに普段は読書して過ごしてるよ。 最近読んでる本はね、なんて言ったかな。
I continued asking about him, about what he likes, dislikes, and what he thinks about. I asked Sis all these questions because I wanted to know more about him. It was the first time I'd ever been that interested in somebody. I didn't want to admit I had feelings like that. Did I fall in love just because of a stroke on the head? Am I stupid or what? When I remember the feeling of his hand on my head, my heart feels tingly. I tried doing it myself, but it didn't feel the same. Haha, I'm stupid. What am I doing stroking my own head?
おねえ、私もうダメだ。バカになっちゃった。
え？何を突然。気色悪い声で笑い出して。
お姉にゃわかるまい、この気持ち。
Well, I think Mio she will understand that feeling with Keiichi, which drives her to kill. So, yeah, I think she'll get it. When would I see him again? I felt as if my suffocating life had finally grown brighter. Oh man, that's so sad knowing what's gonna happen. That's just sad that Shion just has to act like Miona and she can't just, talk to him as herself, but I'm sure that'll change. The life I lived really was beginning to suffocate me. I couldn't go out freely and I always had to make arrangements with Mion before going to work. I thought my life would improve after escaping from the school, but in reality it wasn't that easy. It's not healthy to live like this for too long. Without any friends to hang out with, I felt like I was hibernating. I started to feel the dangers of falling into boredom. All I could think of now was Satoshi Hojo-kun's face. I'd only met him briefly, but my encounter with him had a great impact on my new life. I felt like something exciting was going to happen. Yeah, it will, maybe not in the way you think, though. Really, I was hyped up like a little kid. The more I thought about it, I realized I've been thinking about him a lot lately. This might be a crush. I felt a little ridiculous idolizing him in such a romantic way, though. Then out of the blue, I got a chance to see him again.
あれ？
I saw a familiar face at twilight in the park. He was sitting on the swing. He looked like he was zoning out, or maybe deep in thought. He didn't notice me, even though I was right in front of him. I reminded myself to speak and act like Mion before talking to him.
へい！何やってんのこんなとこでさ。
ミオンか。びっくりしたな。
そんなに驚いてるようには見えないけどね。さっきからいたんだけど、ずっと気づかなかった？
そうなのかい？ごめん、気づかなかったよ。
He smiled self-derisively and shrugged. He looked depressed, like something was troubling him.
何か悩み事でも？聞いて楽になるものなら聞くし、力になれるものなら惜しまないけど。
いや、別に。
私はサトシ君には一個借りがあるからね。それとも何？おじさんじゃ力になれないと思ってるわけ？見くびられたもんだな。
別に。ミオンの力を借りたら意味。
ほう。それは何？私ごとき女の手は借りたくないってこと？
Thinking him unfair, I puffed up my cheeks in a sulky gesture. Satoshi couldn't notice that and smiled.
違うんだよ、ミオン。僕に実力がなくて、ここ一番で打てなかったってだけのことなんだよ。
Oh, that's right, he was on the baseball team. I mentally rifled through all the information about Satoshi-kun that Sis had given me. He doesn't look like much of an athlete, but apparently Satoshi-kun belongs to a junior baseball team. They're called the Hinamizawa Fighters. I doubt he's very skilled since I didn't hear much about his contributions to the team. Maybe that's why he doesn't tell many people he's a member. Given how down he felt as a result of messing up, though, he must be fairly dedicated. I deduced all that from what Sis told me and carefully chose my words so as to sound like her.
なんだ、そんなことで落ち込んでるわけ？
そんなことでって簡単に言ってくれるな、ミオンは。
I pat his back while chuckling. Satoshi-kun would probably call me insensitive. I knew I should listen to him rather than try and cheer him up. Acting like sis was probably the wrong thing to do in this case, but I had no choice. This was just how she'd react in this situation.
それなら落ち込むんじゃなくて、なお一層練習に打ち込んで次のチャンスを目指すのが適当ってもんでしょうが。こういう時は練習しかないよ、練習。まあ、サトシ君に相手のピッチャーに小細工をしてまで勝ちたいという執念があるなら、おじさんいろいろと協力できるかもしれませんけどね。
ずるしても何の意味もないよ。はあ。
Satoshi-kun hung his head after letting his regrets out with a big sigh. Surrender, defeat, resignation were all visible in that gesture of his.
諦めがいいのか未練たらたらなのか。やっぱり男に生まれたからには一度くらいは晴れ舞台でスターになってみたいでしょう。
Satoshi-kun grinned and said yes.
もちろんヒーローを目指すのが花だけど、それが目的で野球をやってるわけじゃないよ。純粋にボールを投げたり打ったりするのが楽しいからやってるんだよ。ミオンでもそういうのわかるよね。
おじさんはそういうのはあんまわかんないかな。私は結果が一番であるならどんな種目でも大好きだし。
That does sound like Mion.
一番になれないのに大好きなんてものはあんまりよくわかんないね。
ミオンらしい答えだな。
Having realized I'm trying to make him feel better, he laughed along. He didn't look depressed anymore. I guess he was just feeling down because of the game. He wasn't as depressed as I thought. Maybe I just jumped to conclusions when I saw him sitting alone in the park.
でもミオンは一番になるためにいろいろと努力をするからね。それは偉いと思うよ。うん。
He smiled gently and stood up. Then he started stroking my head. All of a sudden, I totally wasn't prepared for that.
あ
I thought this when he did this last time, but how can he stroke somebody's head so easily? I felt like I had turned into a little kid. Memories from kindergarten came to mind. My face must have been red. I felt embarrassed, but also like I was in heaven. Satoshi-kun stroked me as though petting a cat. I was blushing with my eyes closed. I felt helpless, like a girl being treated by the dentist with her mouth open and her eyes shut. Satoshi-kun didn't seem to notice my feelings at all. He didn't seem to care. I hate him. With my eyes still closed, I waited for him to finish. He suddenly withdrew his hand.
じゃあ僕はそろそろ帰るよ。
How long was he stroking her head for?
おばさんに野球の帰りに買い物をしてくるよう頼まれてるから。
あ、
My voice faltered. I was so embarrassed.
買い物なら私も行くとこ。夕飯の買い物。
あれミオも買い物するんだ。お手伝いさんが全部やってくれるって言ってなかったっけ？
Shoot. I messed up. In the main Sonozaki house, the maids do everything. Therefore, Mion hardly goes grocery shopping, and she's bragged to some people about that. I should have known better. Still, it wouldn't be too hard to find an excuse.
町に遊びに来るつもりでいたから、たまには家事の真似事でもするかなって思って、買い物を私が引き受けてきたわけよ。お分かり？
ミオンにしては珍しいね。普段はそういうのめんどくさいって言って嫌がりそうなのに。
そういうのを余計なお世話って言います。頭撫でないで。
Satoshi-kun seemed to be having fun with how embarrassed I'd get when he patted me. Anyway, I managed to talk my way out of it. He didn't seem to really care about the details. I'm sure maybe he'll catch on even before Shion tells him who she is, because he's got to know that Mion has a sister. While walking with Satoshi-kun in the shopping district of Kamiyashiki, it suddenly occurred to me, why had I messed up? I'd known Mion would never go grocery shopping. What an amateurish mistake. Did I make that mistake when I was pretending to be Mion? No, I was probably speaking as Shion. I couldn't keep lying to myself. I had to just admit. It was simply because I wanted to spend as much time with Satoshi-kun as possible. It was easy to see why I was so attracted to him. I'd found something intriguing in my boring life, and I didn't have to feel tense because he thought I was somebody else. Etc., etc. His easygoing nature made him fun to be around, and his habit of petting people on the head was fun too. From these symptoms, I could tell I was embracing the feeling of love. I was just casually enjoying that feeling. Oh, that just makes me think about later with Keiichi. It's like there's the parallels between Keiichi and Satoshi, so Shion must have seen something in Keiichi that she saw in Satoshi, and, she was drawn to that. It wasn't that I fell in love with him. I was just having fun. I could simply spend some fun time with Satoshi-kun without having to think too much.
ブロッコリーってどれだっけ？緑だっけ？
Oh my god. Oh, Satoshi and Satoko, they have the same thing where they can't tell vegetables apart.
黄色だっけ？
Oh my gosh, I love that.
サトシ君、そっちはカリフラワー。サトシ君ってひょっとしてキャベツとレタスの区別がつかないタイプ？
それはひどいよ。これでも精一杯区別してるつもり。
Satoshi-kun stared at the heaps of broccoli and cauliflower. After thinking for a while, he reached out for the wrong one.
それ違う。サトシ君の買い物は見ててハラハラしますね。見てるこっちは楽しいけどさ。
参ったな。サトコと一緒の時にも迷うんだよ。ブロッコリーとカリフラワーはどっちが何色だっけってね。
あんたら兄弟二人揃って面白すぎです。
Sissa told me Satoshi was a flaky big brother to his nagging little sister. I hadn't met Satoko, but she must be having a tough time dealing with Satoshi-kun. He stumbles over everything he buys after all.
それは調理塩。胡椒とか混じってますから卓上塩とは異なります。
え、そうなの？ほら、確か理科の実験で塩と胡椒を分離するのを確か。
言い訳はいいから棚に戻す。こっちが普通のお塩ね。で、次は？
ミオンがいてくれると買い物が楽で助かるよ。
サトシ君、頭良さそうに見えて社会生活に支障ありすぎです。もう少しお勉強した方がいいと思います。
それはひどいな。あった、これかな。ひゅいひゅい。
だからそれは違う。何でもカゴに放り込む前に値段と何人分かをよく確認する。
My first impression of Satoshi-kun was that he was strong and reliable. But the more I spoke to him, the more surprised I was at how clumsy and unreliable he was. How do I put it? It was hard to leave him alone. He was dangerous on his own. If he wasn't careful, he might start wondering, do you cross the street when the light is red? Or was it green? And get himself run over by a dump truck. Sweat drop. Maybe that's what happened to him. Maybe he just crossed on the wrong light and just got killed, and I feel bad for laughing at that, but...
スタンプカードはお持ちですか？
はい、あります。あれ、どこかな。
すみません。ちょっと見当たらないんで、今度でいいです。
I finished checking out, ignoring Satoshi-kun as he fished through his wallet full of receipts.
ひどいな、ミオン。スタンプちゃんと押さないともったいないよ。
あんた、夕暮れ時のお買い物ラッシュの時にのんびりと財布を漁ってスタンプカードなんか探さない。後ろに大勢待ってるんだから。私たちの後ろで海線山線のおばさま方が早くしなさいざますって目でギロギロ睨んでたの気づいてなかったんですか？そういう時はレジ前に並んでる時からあらかじめ用意しておくの。
そうか。いいことを聞いたよ。
Geez, you'd think that this is like the first time that he's ever gone grocery shopping before.
ちなみにここでのことだけじゃないですからね。バスに乗る時もそう。サトシ君、バスを降りようとして料金を入れる時、その時になって初めてお財布を開けて小銭をちまちまと探して後ろの人を詰まらせて待たせてるでしょう。
みんな僕を追い抜いて勝手に料金を入れてるかな。
はあ、それはね、すっごーく周りに迷惑をかけているのです。そういうのはあらかじめ用意しておくのがマナー。
You know it's bad when Shion is getting on your case about how you're being inconsiderate to people.
わかりました？
わかったよ。今日のミオンは怖いな。
Satoshi-kun smiled as if patronizing me. I couldn't believe it. He was definitely the type who made women want to protect him. Sure, he was fine as he was when he had a busybody like me around him. But I couldn't stop worrying whether he'd be able to function in society without someone like that nearby. We got plastic bags and sorted out what we bought. Satoshi-kun put a pack of tofu at the bottom of the bag. I slapped his hand and put in a milk carton instead.
はい、これで OK。 これで台所で買い物袋を広げてお母さんに仰天されなくて済みますからね。
ありがとう。助かったよ。僕はどうも買い物が苦手でさ。
買い物だけ？正直におっしゃい。嘘嘘、冗談。
No, that was a little Shion laugh, not a Mion laugh. She's letting it slip a bit. I had realized a few things while I was spending time with him today. He's not just bad at shopping, he's also chronically clumsy. In general, you could call him a slow thinker. That meant when he stepped into the quarrel with the punks, he must have needed a lot of courage. He might be a simpleton, but he's not stupid. He's aware of his weaknesses, so he must have been aware of the danger in that situation. He could have chosen to walk away even though I was in trouble, but he chose to be a man and stepped in. That was really admirable of him.
えらいえらい。サトシ君は頑張ったよ。いい子いい子。
なんだよ。急に人の頭を撫でないでくれよ。
サトシ君が一人でお買い物ができましたでしょう。なでなでなで。
ミオン、僕のことすっごいバカにしてるだろ。
してないしてないよ。お家一人で帰れるかな？道わかる？
やっぱりバカにしてる。
Satoshi-kun's sulky face flushed red. He's just too cute. At that point, I caught a glimpse of a billboard from the corner of my eye. Piano lessons, call XX. A Bacchus class? I don't know what that is. Junior baseball team, members wanted. It was a posting for the team Satoshi-kun belonged to. It showed the day, time, and place of their next practice. By then, I knew just how flaky he was. I figured he must just be the same when playing baseball. Satoshi-kun realized I was reading the posting. He looked uncomfortable and walked away.
今サトシ君は思った。頼むからミオン、野球やってるとこまで来ないでくれよ。図星？そのムーってのはつまり何さ？図星ってことでしょ。
Satoshi-kun became quiet. After mumbling something. It seemed like he couldn't say anything back since I had been right on the money. Satoshi-kun, you're just too cute. I don't think going silent is a good way to dodge the issue. Well, that might just have been the way innocent people like him would react in a situation like that.
じゃあね、サトシ君。暗くなりかけてるから気をつけて帰ってね。
ミオンは一緒に帰らないのかい？ひなみ沢。
私はもうちょっと寄るとこありますんで、気にしないで先に帰ってください。
僕の買い物を手伝ってもらったんだから、今度は僕が手伝う。
はは大丈夫大丈夫。っていうか、サトシ君が何を手伝うおつもりで？人の手伝いする前に自分が手伝われなくて買い物できるようになっといてくださいな。
今日のミオンはひときわ意地悪かな。
He seemed to have some pride at least. He looked a bit upset because he was teased by a girl. But in contrast, I felt very satisfied. As a result, I forgot to keep my guard up. He is so going to figure out who she is.
あ、でも手伝ってくれてありがとうね。本当に助かったから。
While wearing a bright smile, Satoshi-kun suddenly started stroking my head again. Oh, I know he's teasing me, but... Oh, I can't reject him. He keeps doing it only because he's realized I won't resist. Oh.
じゃあね、ミオン。暗くならないうちに用事を済ませてね。また明日、学校で。
I have to assume that Shion is telling Mion about her interactions with Satoshi so that Mion's not caught off guard when if Satoshi brings it up the next day in school.
あ、うん。また明日学校でね。
In fact, I wouldn't see him tomorrow at all. It felt awkward, but I had to settle for that. I had to thank Sis for letting me use her name. After I separated from him, I found myself giddy and wishing to see him again as soon as possible. I wanted to know more about him. I couldn't wait for my next chance to see him. Actually, maybe there was something I could do. Just like when I obtained my freedom from St. Lucia's. I could choose how to live my life. Whatever, it wasn't that complicated. I just wanted to tease him more. I wanted him to stroke my head more. And, oh, whatever. I already knew the schedule for his baseball team. I'm just waiting. She's gonna have some sort of slip up and he's gonna know who she is, but he'll probably be like, you know, try and keep her secret. Alright, so we've got another crumpled diary, so it's gonna get sad, probably. Anything with Satoshi and Satoko. My aunt finally stopped her hysterical screaming. Today was just like any other day. I can't remember what set her off. Whatever it was, she changed subjects constantly anyway. It didn't matter. She went on past midnight again. The urge to sleep was pounding the back of my head. Once Satoko had been able to relax, she fell down on the spot and started sleeping, still clinging to my sleeve. I carried Satoko to the bedroom and laid out our futons.
ほら、サトコ。布団が敷けたよ。布団に入りな。
Satoko crawled in like a worm. She stopped moving when she was inside. I wished I could go to bed too, but I couldn't. My aunt asked me to do some chores. I had to get toothpaste after school tomorrow. I had to write it down somewhere, so that probably explains why he's so scatterbrained. He's just like being abused at home. He's constantly tired. Just, I totally understand. It's like from other people's perspectives, it's just seen as him just being like, just scatterbrained, but it's like, it's totally understandable why he would be. I had to make rice for lunch tomorrow. I set the timer. Right, I also had to repile the towels in the bathroom. That was the reason for today's scolding. My aunt will get mad if everything isn't done the way she wants. Oh, and there was something else. I was working at the grocery store the next day. They wanted me to bring an apron. Did we even have an apron in this house? I will say, though, for someone who works at a grocery store, he absolutely should know what the difference between a cauliflower and broccoli is. I'd never seen one. My aunt will be sleeping when I go to school, so I won't have time to ask her. What should I do? Since Mion helped me get that job, I don't want to screw it up. In that case, why don't I ask Mion about it at school? She might lend me one. Was there anything else? I was envious of Satoko because she got to go to bed. It was pathetic that I felt that way.
こんにちは。今日もお暑いのにご精が出ますことで。
お、ミオンさんじゃないですか。
And there's Coach.
こんにちは。
And I can actually call him Coach more in this, instance because he literally is being a coach right now, so it's not weird.
あれ？それはありがたいな。さすがは我がチームのマネージャー。
まあ気が向いたからです。別に監督に差し入れたくて買ってきたわけじゃないので、あとさりげなく人を勝手にマネージャーに組み込まないように。
ミオンがマネージャーだったら いろいろ心強いと思うけどね。やってよミオン、マネージャー。
Satoshi-kun smiled at me in a carefree manner. Oh, that's probably why Shion agreed was to be a manager. It was because of Satoshi, and now that he's gone, she has like no interest in being the manager anymore. I didn't want to become their manager. It would be tiresome. I've been coming every week though, so I'm a quasi-manager already.
まあ本当に気が向いたらその時はやりますんで。で、どうです？サトシ君の打率はどんな感じです？
ええ、頑張ってますよ。彼の打率ですか？そうですね。セブンスマートでおせんべいの袋をどれでも3つ買うとですね。
それってつまり3割ってことですか？へえ、サトシ君って結構な高打率打者じゃないの。
打率は数字じゃないよミオン。ここ一番で打てなきゃ意味はないんだからさ。
サトシ君は自分で自分の弱点をよく分かっているようですね。そこまで分かっているならあとは練習あるのみですよ。
Irie signaled to the pitcher, who then threw the ball. Satoshi-kun looked calm, following the ball with his eyes. Then he swung. Thwack! The ball flew between the first and second bases and landed in the distance.
おお、やったー！パチパチパチパチパチ。
I clapped, and Satoshi-kun blushed in response. He repositioned his helmet to hide his face.
フリーバッティングや試合が平坦な時はかなり落ち着いたいいバッティングを見せてくれるんですけどね。
Irie smiled compassionately. It seemed that Satoshi-kun really couldn't perform well when it counted, which is like the total opposite of Keiichi. While he was usually good, when everybody expected him to perform, he couldn't. I didn't think it was because of nervousness. He just couldn't do it. I think it's a perfect fit for Satoshi-kun's character. He seems calm at first glance, but he's actually slow.
スコアボードとかそういう数字上ではかなりの高アベレージヒッターなのにね。本番に弱いってのは致命的かも。そんなことだからこないだの浮田ジャガーとの試合でもここ一番で凡退するんですよ。
うるさいな。気にしてるんだから黙っててくれよ。
あそこで打てればかなり美味しい見せ場だったんですけどね。残念です。
A hit could have put the offense in the lead, or at least given them an extension. That was when Satoshi-kun came up to bat. Irie wanted him to live up to everybody's expectations. But statistically, that wasn't likely to happen. Yet Irie insisted on giving him a chance, in spite of the fact that all the team members had suggested a pinch hitter.
あーもうあそこで打てれば完璧なのにな。どうしてダメなんですか？
Poor Satoshi, just getting shit on all sides by people.
どうしてああいう時に打てないんですか？
仕方ないよ。僕がああいう時弱いの本当だし、僕だって代打を出してくれた方が試合に勝てるかなって思ったし。
試合に勝つかじゃなくてサトシ君が勝つかどうかが問題なんです。ああもうなんで当の本人にここまで闘争心がないのかな。普通は逆でしょ。代打に変えられそうなところをここは俺に打たせてくださいって食ってかかるとこでしょ。自分から代打を出してほしいなんて言い出すなんて、ああもうなんでここまで闘争心がないのかな。
それは私も普段から言ってるんですけどね。まあその辺がサトシ君のいいところではあるんですがね。
I'm wondering if the game is intentionally trying to show the differences between Satoshi and Keiichi, where it's like Keiichi is very confident in himself and he always seems to kind of pull out the big win, whereas Satoshi is the complete opposite. But then in chapter 3 it seemed like the two of them, they almost became one person. I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking too into it, but I am really liking the fact I knew about Shion. I knew we were going to learn more about Shion, but Satoshi I totally forgot about it, and I'm glad we're learning more about him too.
普段は紳士でも試合には鬼になる。男にはそういう二面性があっても私はいいと思います。とにかくサトシ君には鬼がない。
And then Shion talking about a demon, two sides, right? It's like coming back to that too. It's like Mion and Shion, two sides, demon. It all comes together.
仮にもひなみ沢の人間なんだから、たまにはご先祖の鬼の血を思い出してくださいよねって聞いてます？サトシ君？
聞いてるよ。よくわかんないけど。
わかんないけどってサトシ君の話をしてるんですよ。それを
There we go. He knows how to shut her up. Satoshi-kun suddenly started stroking my head. He looked delighted for some reason. It's like her off button. Or on button. It depends on how you think about it. A blush immediately spread across my face. I didn't know how to respond.
ミオンは僕のためを思って言ってくれてるんだよね。ありがとう。僕は頑張る。
サトシ君、そういうことしてごまかさないでください。
ごまかしてなんかないよ。嬉しいだけだよ。
I couldn't resist his hand. I couldn't help mumbling like he does. Satoshi-kun ran back to the field, leaving me red as a beet.
頭撫でられるの弱いんですか？
Hey, Irie, no touchy.
撫でる人によります。
Not by you.
監督が撫でてきたら関節決めますんで覚悟の方よろしくです。
もうずるいな。じゃあ全員集合。今日は出席もいいことですから人数を分けて紅白戦をやってみましょう。
The Hinamizawa Fighters are sort of a lazy team. The members gather simply to enjoy playing baseball, not to fight for victory. The Okonomiya Titans use this field too, but they practice on a different day of the week. They always train hard using dumbbells and stuff. Our team split into two groups and started a match, retaining their loose atmosphere.
じゃあ私は記録でもやるかな。監督、どっかに鉛筆ないですか？
いつもすみませんね。はい、これお願いしますね。
I took the pencil and the clipboard. I didn't know how to differentiate between recording hits and errors at first, but by now I was used to it.
頑張ってサトシ君。あんまり応援するとまた打てなくなっちゃいますね。ほどほどに頑張れ。
それはそれでひどいな。
頑張れ。
Time passed slowly that Sunday. Huge white clouds appeared in the sky. They made me feel healthy. Humans are born to be active under the sun. One of the parents was acting as umpire today, so Irie sat on the bench with me. He shouted words of encouragement to the kids while they ran to their positions. Any other baseball coach would constantly berate them, but he was much more generous, like a kindergarten teacher. He let the kids have fun while watching over them. To other baseball players, it might look a little naive.
それでもあの程度の練習量でみんなこれだけの動きができるんだから驚きですよね。
ひなみ沢の子はみんな普段から元気に遊び回ってますからね。運動量は町のことは比べ物にならないんですよ。変なフォームで固めてしまうより遊び感覚の方が伸びるんです。
おお、見事に沖宮タイタンズとは正反対の考え方ですね。あちらの監督と対立するのわかる気がします。
タイタンズさんの考えも試合は勝つためにするものですからね。勝利至上主義は決して間違いじゃないです。みんなで団結して共通の目標を目指すのはとても素敵なことだと思いますからね。まあうちはその目標がたまたま勝利じゃないってだけのことです。
The Hinamizawa Fighters and the Okonomiya Titans had been rivals for a long time. Both teams shared the same baseball field for one thing. And originally, there was only one team, but the people living in Hinamizawa left and made their own. Anyhow, we were rivals. The Okonomiya Titans were strictly about winning, and the Hinamizawa Fighters were just about having fun. Surprisingly, our scores weren't that different. which meant our team had something they didn't. Even though I couldn't put it into words, I knew what made that happen.
ほら赤組さんも頑張ってください。2点差なんかひっくり返せちゃいますよ。白組も油断なくしっかり。
Still, some parents would criticize our coach for being too lenient, but still others would strongly agree with him. Which side would I take? The latter? I couldn't really say for sure. The reason for this was that Irie had an obnoxious habit of sexual harassment. Shion coming out and saying it. I know I take these things too seriously, guys. I'm sorry for that. I know, it's a cultural thing, it's meant to be fun, but I'm on Shion's side with this. You try to do this shit these days, and maybe I'm coming from an overly PC kind of point of view, a Western view of things, but Irie said this shit to kids now. Some parent would beat his ass, that's all I'm saying. Okay, rant over. In particular, he had a fascination with maids, but I shouldn't talk about that I should talk about that some other time. Satoshi-kun let the ball pass twice to see its trajectory, then hit it on the third pitch and ran to first base.
お、サトシ君打った打った。落ち着いてればさすがですよね。
最初はちょっと素振りしただけですぐバテてたんですけどね。それを思えば本当に上達したものです。
サトシ君って文系って感じの人ですよね。よくその彼が野球をやろうなんて思ったものですね。
All the other kids who joined the baseball team loved baseball. They'd go out to play in the fields outside of practice. That's why they all had an aptitude for it. Well, I bet with Satoshi, it's just a reason for him to get out of the house and, just be a normal kid. But Sis never said Satoshi couldn't exercise as intensively in school or anywhere else. He only likes to read. That's why I didn't understand why he started playing for the team to begin with.
それはですね、私がサトシ君をこのチームに誘ったからなんです。
へえ、監督が自らスカウトしたんですか？サトシ君に何かすごい素質があるのを見抜いて？
あ、すみません。麦茶を一杯もらってもいいですか？あ、どうも。
Irie asked for tea in a suspicious manner. While he constantly joked around, I knew he was actually a very mature person. I assumed he was trying to evade my question.
何か訳ありなんですか？
Oh, it's because Coach knows. He knows about what's going on with Satoshi and Satoko, so he probably figured it's like, let's get Satoshi out of that environment for a bit, and let's just let him socialize with people and just, have fun. Irie pretended he didn't hear me, but I pressed him on it. In response, he shrugged and began answering the question. I know I give Coach Irie a hard time, but I do respect him for this. That he saw this thing and he's trying to help in his own way.
園崎さんなら、あるいは想像がつくんじゃないかと。
What would be Mion Sonozaki's guess? I quickly searched through the data I had on Satoshi-kun. I came up with Satoshi-kun's family circumstances. He lost his parents in an accident a year ago. Since then, he's been having a tough time at his uncle's home.
じゃあ監督はサトシ君の鬱憤とかそういうのを解消させてあげようと思ってこのチームに？
スポーツはいいですよ。程よく体を動かして汗をかくことはストレスの発散になります。また熱中することによってわずかな間でも家庭のことを忘れられるならそれは十分な気分転換になりますしね。
ほらサトシ君ってぼんやりしてるというかのほほんとしてるというかそういうところあるじゃないですか。やっぱり相当ストレスあるんですか？
I knew Satoshi-kun must be suffering, even though he didn't look like it. But Mion Sonozaki never pays attention to things like that, and I had to act like she does.
おじさんに引き取られて少ししてからサトシ君がだいぶ体調を崩しましてね。いろんな症状を訴えるんですが、いくら調べても原因がはっきりしないんですよ。
Satoshi-kun often got sick after he was taken into his uncle's custody. He suffered from fatigue and migraines. He suffered from a lack of energy and sleeplessness. The coach, Dr. Irie, soon realized Satoshi-kun was suffering from a psychological disorder. Most of the people in Hinamizawa knew how bad Satoshi-kun's environment was. It was natural for him to become sick because he entered that bad environment right after his parents' deaths.
サトシ君は感情の爆発ができないタイプなんですよ。泣いたりとか怒ったりとか、そういう感情が人一倍苦手なんです。
確かにサトシ君が泣いたりとか怒ったりってのはあまり。
サトシ君のお母さんが再婚を重ねてるのはご存知で？
まあ少しは。
Satoshi-kun's mother had married a number of men over the years. That meant Satoshi-kun had several stepfathers. He had to deal with strangers coming into his home multiple times, so he was forced to be mature.
サトシ君は精神的に早熟なんです。本人は自覚していないでしょうがね。泣いたり笑ったりダダをこねたり、そういう時代をあっという間に卒業させられて大人になっちゃったんです。
監督の言い方だと大人ってのが必ずしもいいようには聞こえないですね。
子供は子供らしく過ごすことで成長していくようにできているんです。それを無理に大人にしたらやっぱりいいことはないですよ。
Not only was Satoko's current relationship with her aunt conspicuously terrible, I heard that her relationships with previous stepfathers weren't good either. Satoko always caused problems, and Satoshi-kun would always step in to protect her. It's almost like they went in different directions, where it's like Satoko, her outbursts are very like out there and obvious, whereas Satoshi has to like push everything down and just deal with it.
だからサトシ君の体に変調が出たのは、そういうことに体が耐えかねた SOS じゃないかって思ったんです。
That's why Irie invited Satoshi-kun onto the baseball team. He told Satoshi that he needed a new member, or something like that.
初めは渋ってましたけどね。彼と診療の際にいろいろとお話しするうちに少しずつ打ち解けていきましてね。ちょっと見学だけにでも来てみるといい。ちょっとバットを持ってみるといい。なんて感じで少しずつ誘っていったんですよ。
Sports worked excellently for Satoshi-kun. His health quickly improved, and he started to become interested in baseball. He practiced batting, he was soon able to swing beautifully, and he learned how to see the trajectory of the ball.
なんかわかるな。サトシ君ってコツコツタイプですからね。How to Baseball なんて本をしおり挟みながら読んでる風景が想像できます。
それであれよあれよという間に3割打者なんです。本当によく頑張りました。これでピンチの時にも打てれば完璧なんですけどね。
サトシ君と監督って仲いいんですか？
悪くはないと思ってますよ。悩みとかそういうのを打ち明けてくれたということは私を信頼してくれたからだと思ってます。
I felt a bit jealous at how confidently Irie said that. While Satoshi-kun and I were friends, we weren't so close that we'd open up to each other like that.
あれ？嫉妬してます？
何に？
Taken aback, I blushed. Irie started laughing at me.
園崎さんもサトシ君の相談相手になってあげてください。
まあなれるならなれたらいいかななんて。で
I didn't know what I was saying.
サトシ君ですね。最近また少し体調を崩してるみたいなんです。
Oh, here we go. Oh, okay. Just got real just whenever you hear that sound effect. Oh, it was all happy-go-lucky and then just turned on a dime, as it always does. Thwack. The ball flew to the left. But the left fielder managed to catch it. It seemed that the relationship between Satoko and her aunt had grown worse lately. It was obvious his sickness had something to do with that.
おばさんがかなり大人げないいじめ方をしているらしいんです。さとこちゃん、 本当にかわいそうなくらいにボロボロになって。何しろ聞いた話では。
で、それをかばうサトシ君もボロボロになっているということですね。
I wasn't interested in Satoko, so I switched the subject back to Satoshi-kun. Wow, harsh. I didn't know much about Satoko. I knew she was a big part of Satoshi-kun's life, but I'd never been interested in her until today. She must have been building up self-esteem and taking care of her unreliable brother. That was all I knew about her. But considering Satoshi-kun's personality, even that goofiness of his might have been an act. Maybe he was trying to make her feel good about herself by letting her take care of him. If only unconsciously. When he's alone, he's surprisingly strong. I realized that only recently. So I couldn't help but think that his whole life is constantly affected by Satoko. Satoshi-kun managed to get along with his stepfathers even though he experienced some stress. He was even getting along with his aunt. But in order to protect Satoko, he always had to step in and suffer. I didn't really know anything about Satoko, but I had to admit, I felt hostile toward. I was just about to say, I was like, it almost seems like she's blaming Satoko for this. I felt jealous because she was monopolizing him.
最近、さとこちゃんへのおばさんのいじめがだいぶエスカレートしてるみたいです。サトシ君の体調不良もそれに比例しているんでしょうね。
Now I'm like worried that Shion's gonna snap and like do something to Satoko because she just gets weirdly jealous. Almost like Mion did with with Shion and Keiichi. Irie heaved a sigh. As he said, Satoshi-kun had been absent a few times lately. He seemed a bit tired, too. He looked normal when around everybody else, but he looked a bit depressed when he was alone.
監督はストレスに押しつぶされそうなサトシ君を救うため野球に誘ったんですよね。
ええ、そのつもりでした。
こうして野球をやっている今、またストレスに押しつぶされそうになっているサトシ君に今度は何を誘えばいいんですか？
どうすればいいんでしょうね。
Irie smiled powerlessly. I couldn't help feeling a bit disappointed about that, because Satoshi couldn't put his trust in him.
内緒にしてくださいよ。実はですね、サトシ君、チームを抜けたいって、そう漏らすんですよ、最近。
どうして？
疲れるからだそうです。というのは表向き。さとこちゃんと一緒にいる時間を増やしてあげるためじゃないかと。
Oh no, that's gonna make Shion mad.
サトシ君は野球をしている間、さとこちゃんがおばさんにいじめられているかもしれない。その時、さとこちゃんのそばにいられないことが兄として辛いと、そう思っているのか。
I'm sorry for skipping so much in this chapter, guys. I'm sorry. I'm bad for that. I want to know what's going on, and I keep skipping it. I was left speechless for a while. Satoko again. Oh my god, she is. She is getting real hostile towards her. And then there's that sound in the background. It's almost like her head is buzzing with anger. Satoko. Why did Satoshi-kun have to sacrifice so much for her? Because she's his sister? Just by ignoring... I guess it's like Shion says, though. She's more of the cold type, where it's like as long as she's satisfied, she doesn't care about other people. So it's like, if she has Satoshi to herself, she's happy, but if someone's going to take Satoshi away from her, then she's mad at them. No matter what the reason. It's almost like Mion was mad at Keiichi and Shion. It's, oh my god. It's just the parallels, man, the parallels. Just by ignoring her, his stress would melt away. Oh my god, is she gonna like kill Satoko and be like, hey, you don't have to worry about her anymore because I got rid of her? Of course, I know he couldn't do that. If that were the case, then the blame lay with his little sister. I knew how badly she'd been treated. But that only happened because she made things worse for herself. It was her fault she couldn't establish a decent relationship with their aunt. If Satoko were more mature like Satoshi-kun, her home life wouldn't have gotten so bad. Satoshi-kun wouldn't have to suffer these indirect blows. In the meantime, the baseball team's practice match had become one-sided. It wasn't even worth watching anymore. The members of the losing team were just goofing off. The sky had turned cloudy, too. It was depressing. It didn't look like it would rain soon, though. The gray sky hadn't brought along any cool air. It just felt disgusting. Irie became quiet. He was looking down around his feet. I, meanwhile, just stared at Satoshi-kun. To me, he didn't look active anymore. He was once able to enjoy playing baseball, and he felt fine. But he got sick again, just because the relationship between Satoko and her aunt had deteriorated. I couldn't help but say it.
サトシ君をどうこうするってより、
Oh,
サトコをどうこうする方が先決では。
okay. It was just a murmur, but Irie had definitely caught it.
それはどういう意味ですか？
別に難しい話じゃないです。サトコがしっかりしてくれれば、サトシ君に迷惑をかけることもない。サトコがそもそもの原因であるってことが言いたいだけです。
That's cold, man. Like, I understand that this chapter we're getting into Shion, and people like Shion, but I'm like, if this is trying to make me more sympathetic to her, it is not working. In fact, I dislike her less now because she's being so selfish about it. Maybe things could change, and maybe that's just her character, and that's who she is, and she's unapologetically her, but I'm just not vibing with it.
そんなことは。
でしょ？だってサトコがトラブルからサトシ君はそのトラブルに介入して矢面に立たなければならないんでしょ？でその結果本当は買わなくて済んだおばの喧嘩まで買ってるわけでしょ？
Satoshi-kun never got scared of any trouble. No matter how formidable the enemy, he'd bravely stand up to protect the weak. I knew that because I could vividly imagine it. Whenever their aunt chides Satoko, Satoshi-kun steps in to protect her. The aunt probably didn't like it. Though Satoshi-kun didn't have to fight, the aunt would attack him anyway. The fight would then be between the aunt and him. Satoko might then tease the aunt by sticking out her tongue, hiding behind his back and pretending to be scared. She'd never think about how deeply he was being hurt. Because of Satoko, Satoshi-kun had become cornered and stressed.
園崎さん、あなたがそんな言い方をする人だったとは。
Yeah, she definitely let her facade slip a bit. She's not even trying to pretend to speak as Mion anymore.
あなたはさとこちゃんのお友達でしょ？お姉さん的な立場でしょ？普段も学校でさとこちゃんを慰めたり励ましたりしてるものだと思ってました。なのにそんな言い方をするなんて正直驚いています。
Irie looked at me suspiciously. I could tell what he was thinking about me. I'd said too much. Mion Sonozaki and Satoko Hojo are friends. They're close, so Mion should have been encouraging her after the situation at home got tougher. That's what Mion was supposed to do. I had totally forgotten about that and spoken as myself. It's only natural Irie would give me a suspicious look. He might end up changing his impression of Mion Sonozaki entirely. I'd have to apologize to her about this and ask her to put things right. Maybe that's probably what happened. Maybe that's why Mion just is so upset with Shion just going around and just making people, think differently of her because she can't keep her mouth shut. And she's just saying all these horrible things. And then Mion's like, you are ruining my reputation. I totally messed up. Even so, I didn't think I'd said anything wrong. I'd objectively looked at the situation and made a modest proposal. To be honest, I was simply afraid he might leave the team. I couldn't go to the school in Hinamizawa, so the baseball field was the only place where I could see him. I could even say he was my reason for living. That's right, I was in love with him. But I wasn't going to tell him how I felt, for I was satisfied just being by his side. I certainly couldn't ask for anything more. After all, I couldn't reveal my true identity. I had to pretend to be Mion in order to live in Okonomiya. I thought that maybe I should leave Okonomiya in order to be free. But that's stupid. No matter how tough my life might be, I'd prefer to be here, with Satoshi-kun stroking my head every now and then. Why did I love him that much? I read about it in some manga once. You don't need a reason to be in love. I was surprised at myself for being like this.
落ち着け、私。
Oh, snap. You said the quiet part loud. I breathed out slowly, then held my breath, trying to slow my throbbing heart. I felt a bit calmer. At that point, a clear thought came into my head. I want to be with Satoshi-kun. So? I want him to stay on the team. So? I want to get rid of his concerns and his stress. So what? So? What can I do to achieve all that? My head started to cool down as I heard the umpire shout. The nice thing Shion could have said is, why don't we invite Satoko to come out and hang out, as opposed to, let's blame Satoko for everything. Well, I have some thoughts after all that. I have some thoughts about Shion. Not all great ones. Alright guys, so that will do it for this episode. Overall, I'm very interested in this turn of events. I was not expecting Satoshi, I totally forgot about him, to pop up, but he did, and I'm really liking his character so far. Shion and Satoshi, I thought, it was like, oh, it's so cute, you know, it's like she's lonely and she's found someone to attach herself to, but then this weird animosity for Satoko, I'm a little concerned. At first I thought I was going to have to be worried about Mion, like Shion doing something to Mion, and maybe that will still happen. But right now I'm like, Satoko, I'm afraid Shion's going to do something to her. So we'll just have to wait and find out what's going to happen. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and stay tuned for the next one. Until next time, bye guys.